Sneak peek for our big Today Special, oftentimes our biggest Today Special of the year, our Coenzyme Q10. And what I'm excited to announce is that once again I was wrong. Last year I said I doubt we'd be able to continue offering CoQ10 at the remarkable price that we've had for the last, I think it's now 3 years. And I thought that was going to be sort of a one-time opportunity, but we've been able to manage to contend with the price increases and cost increases and still hold the price on our Today Special. So it's a price today that actually is about 90% lower for the same amount of CoQ10 as it was about 20 years or so ago. What do you know that's 90% less expensive than it was? We'd be surprised if it was 90% the price. This is 90% less than it was a couple of decades ago. And even better with our CoQ10, you're basically getting your choice of 1,000 or 2,000 IU of vitamin D3 free. Many of you have noticed for the last several years, I haven't done a Today Special for vitamin D3. The reason why, I preferred to just give it away as part of our Coenzyme Q10 Today Special for the last 3 years. It's funny, Lincoln's on the other side of a little glass here looking at me. Lincoln's my dog. So it's a wonderful opportunity for you and for me. We don't have a vitamin D3 Today Special, but that means you're getting your vitamin D3 if you choose for free. And what I'll also have some graphics, some charts for this upcoming CoQ10 Today Special. I separated out from the product our separate B12. This is our own unique methyl B12, the natural form, natural Q10 B12. Hey, Link, come here, buddy. Come here, bud. Hey, buddy, come on up. How you doing, bud? Aw. He missed me, so Muriel, let Lincoln come in. Do you want to have a seat? Do you want to lay down in your bed? Go lay down in your bed.
Sorry, Marcel wanted to come.
Hey, Marcel. Hey, Marcel. Come on up. Come on up, Marcel. So we have the guys here. So fortunately, we'll continue now. So I was talking about the value that our CoQ10 is when I hadn't thought of doing this in the past, but we've taken our B12, which is part of our CoQ10, because CoQ10 really relies on the other B vitamins and B12 to do its job. A chain is only as strong, say, as its weakest link. So we make sure there's no weak links in our chain. And then we also, because of the relationship between CoQ10 and vitamin C, we also make sure that you're getting the equivalent of a separate vitamin C with our CoQ10. So if all you do is look at separate vitamin D, separate vitamin C, and just separate B12, in virtually all the sizes, in actually all the sizes, you're saving significantly. This would be a great Today Special, just offering vitamin C, vitamin B12, and vitamin D3 without CoQ10. So the CoQ10 is sort of a bonus. I think you're almost saving half the price on just, Marcel's wandering around here, on just the vitamin C, B12, and vitamin D3. So then when you add CoQ10, which is typically an extremely expensive ingredient, and I always have to remind everyone, almost caution everyone, that not to let the affordability of our CoQ10 mislead you and the value presented with the vitamin C, with our special B12, and it's our special vitamin C that's non-acidic as well, and also our vitamin D3. Your choice, 1,000, 2,000. So it really is, it's a Today Special that when I first came out with CoQ10 35 or 34 years ago, I never expected we'd be able to offer it at a 10 or 20% reduction on that price. Lincoln's getting comfortable in his bed, let alone a 90% reduction from the early days. So CoQ10 has gone from being one of the most by far expensive ingredients possible, in that this product in the past would have been more than $2 a capsule. Now you can measure it in pennies a capsule, even though it's coming with the vitamin D, the B12, the full B complex, and the vitamin C. You get all of those ingredients combined. So it's an opportunity to get not just the most exceptional CoQ10 in the world, but get it with all the components, all of its partners necessary to get the greatest efficacy. If you look at the reviews of this product, I haven't looked at the reviews recently, but I believe last time I looked, there were more than 3,500 reviews, of which more than 3,000 were 5-star reviews. So if you look at the positive reviews, I think there are about 95, 96% of the reviews are positive reviews. It's unlike any CoQ10 you're going to find anywhere in the world. And when it comes to, and it's funny that Link came in, because Lincoln's getting older, he's over 10 years old. So when he went to the veterinarian the last time and they look at his teeth and periodically clean his teeth, they said his gums needed a little support, needed a little help. They weren't as healthy as they were. So I started giving him CoQ10 because CoQ10, when it comes to the health of our gums, and really the health of our mouth, is healthy. It's about being keeping the tissues of our mouth healthy. We often think about our teeth, but it's keeping our gums healthy, which is all about keeping our teeth healthy. And CoQ10 is, if you want to look at the top of the list of ingredients that support the health of our mouth and the health of our gums, it's CoQ10. So when I started giving Lincoln CoQ10 for the health of his mouth and gums, and certainly it's made a difference, it's made a remarkable difference in his energy level, in my perception of his health and well-being. So CoQ10 is something that I now give a quarter of a capsule in Lincoln's food pretty much every other day. But certainly talk to your veterinarian if you're thinking of doing that. But it just underscores the role that CoQ10 plays for all of us. We cannot produce energy in our body without CoQ10. If you look at the levels of CoQ10 in our body, the levels of CoQ10 in our body increase with a direct relationship to how critical energy is to that tissue. The levels of CoQ10 are by far the highest in our heart, followed by organs like our liver, our brain. You cannot produce energy without CoQ10. It's critical to the process of the movement of electrons that are necessary to creating the energy that we experience. And it's funny to think of it that way, that the energy we experience is simply the movement of electrons that take place in the mitochondria of all our cells. And each and every one of our cells must have CoQ10 or those cells can't be alive. And Marcel is right here. What's up, buddy? Marcel is our little pup who's 1.5 years old and is a little bit of a crazy guy. But again, CoQ10 is something that, speaking of a youthful puppy, as we get older, the levels of CoQ10 drop significantly with age. And since CoQ10 is absolutely indispensable for all energy production, it's no wonder that one of the most common complaints we all provide to our doctors as we get older, even when we're relatively young, is fatigue. So there's no more logical, common sense, scientifically supported way to really approach energy production in your body. It's not about taking a stimulant and stimulating perceptions of greater energy. It's all about giving our body the tools that become limited with age. And there's no more critical tool for energy production. There's no more critical tool for optimum heart function, optimum muscular function, and I would think optimum energetics in terms of brain and liver function than coenzyme Q10. And there is no better CoQ10 product on the market than my CoQ10. There's probably no other CoQ10 product with the quantity and the quality of reviews that this product has received. So again, if you want to try a product, and this product is going to come with a pretty remarkable money-back guarantee. I think you have a money-back guarantee until the end of January. So if you've tried this before, I'm sure you're just taking advantage of the incredible pricing that we do once a year, and it's only once a year. We celebrate our anniversary, and this is our 22nd year. This is our 22nd year, our 22nd anniversary at HSN. We celebrate our anniversary with what is arguably, and many people would say, the most important product we make, and the most important product, the most meaningful, difference-making product that we produce. So CoQ10, there's nothing more important, I think, to cellular function, certainly energy production on a cellular level, than coenzyme Q10. I've been making CoQ10 products longer than anyone, I suspect. I've been making it for 34 years, and at that time, I don't believe there was anyone else importing CoQ10 at that time. So it's an ingredient, the likes of which I think you won't experience a supplement with as much of an opportunity to make a difference in your life than CoQ10. So it's truly one of a kind in terms of supplementation. What I'm going to spend time discussing throughout the day, I'm going to be spending time discussing the fact that CoQ10 doesn't just affect one system in your body, but CoQ10 delivers its benefits to all the systems in your body because it delivers its benefits to all the cells in your body, because every cell in your body must have CoQ10 to produce energy. Energy is the ability to do all work. Energy is the ability for a cell to be alive. Without its ability to produce energy, a cell can't be alive. It can't do the work that you require to function at your very best on a daily basis. I'll talk about the implications of CoQ10 for the aging brain and for optimum brain function as we age. I'll talk about CoQ10 in terms of heart function. I'll talk about CoQ10 in terms of fatigue. And these are all things that we value in terms of the quality of our life, that we value in terms of our health. Without CoQ10, our ability to function at our very best is limited. And unfortunately, as we age, the availability of CoQ10 in our body suffers simply, even if we do everything perfectly well, simply by the fact that we're aging. If we might do something, whether it's taking certain medications, cholesterol-lowering statin drugs, certain drugs for lowering blood pressure, antihypertensive, certain drugs for the treatment of osteoporosis, bisphosphonates. Most medications have implications for liver function. Most medications have implications to a greater or lesser degree in CoQ10 synthesis, meaning they affect our ability to produce energy. They affect our organs' abilities to function